Hey, welcome back. I'm sure there's a cutscene coming up. I do have a couple of things I could talk about. I forget if I mentioned last week, I did this softball thing, cutscene. Yeah.
Now what? Mesa Bluff. I'm here in Santa Barbara proper is...
I did this softball thing. I actually didn't write any notes about it, even though it's kind of a big deal for me. But the church that I go to, they played softball on Sunday, and I played. I could have not gone if I really didn't want to, which I didn't. I did have to force myself to go. But I was thinking, my allergies have been not really bothering me, but kind of acting up a little bit lately. I could tell my parents on Saturday night or Sunday morning, I don't think I can come because my allergies are bad, and I don't want to be sneezing on people because of the virus and everything. They would have said, yeah, don't come. Even though my allergies weren't bad at all that day, Saturday or Sunday. But I could have said it, and they would have believed me, and I wouldn't have really felt bad about it, I don't think. Which might be bad to say. But I didn't do that, so... I didn't have to do that. I wasted it. But the other note, the therapist sent me this link for a bunch of books to read about being happy. And I started reading one. I stopped reading the Federalist Papers. I read through, I think I got through 44 of them. What was that? But it's really dense, and it's hard to concentrate while you're driving and trying to take notes about it. It's not a good idea. Did he see me? It's one of those stalker guys. So, what's the book called? I'm reading a new book. It's called Solve for Happy. It was the first book on the list. But I was like, oh, this guy said solve for happy, so he must be smart. Come on. Whoa. There's a clicker gotta be coming. Do I have a thing? No. That's a clicker. That's a clicker. That's a clicker. Oh. Shoot these guys. I don't care.
Back to it.
I definitely have a problem where I'm like, oh, if this person talks about math, they must be smart, so I have to listen to them. So it's kind of it's called Solve for Happy. And it's this, written by this, Google executive, not executive, but a tech guy. And the preface of the book, he's like, I had everything anybody could ever want. I had a family, I had success at work, I had achievements and everything, and money, house, but I wasn't happy. So he's like, I'm a smart guy. I'll just make an equation like I do with all my other computer stuff, and I'll solve for happy instead of the other stuff I solve for. And now I'm thinking, if I had written the book, I probably would have written it a little bit different. He starts the book off by saying, my son died, and I'm still happy, or something. Like, I found a way to be happy. And that's a kind of a good way to start, because you think, oh man, his son died and he's still happy, so this formula that he comes up with must really work. But as a story, it would have been more interesting if he was like, the preface of the book is about like, oh, I came up with this equation that solves all problems and it makes me happy all the time. Or so I thought. And then my son dies. And then end of preface, start of chapter 1. What? That's how you tell the story. You don't tell us that your son died in the beginning. Although if he didn't say that, I might have given up, because he was like talking about how, oh, I have this job and I'm so smart and I have my family and everything's perfect, but somehow, I'm still not happy. Like, okay, you're an anomaly. You have all this amazing stuff and you're not happy, so that's your problem. I haven't even gotten the amazing stuff. So it's hard to be like, oh, I feel so bad for you. If I had that amazing stuff, I'd figure out a way to be happy. But then he's like, oh, my son died, so you can't say that anymore. I'm still having, I don't know. I'm gonna read this whole book. It's not very long. It's only 10 hours. I don't think my problem is like this premise of, oh, you can have everything in the world and still not be happy. I already know that. Like, I don't want stuff. I don't really want, I'm happy with like my little apartment and my stupid car and my job. I like that stuff is fine. I don't want anything more than that. I really don't. I want a job where I'm not stressed every day, and I want to be around people and not hate myself. Is that so much to ask? Those are the things I want. Is that too much? Should I still try to be happy with what I have now? I don't think so. And that's why I don't think this book is for me, really. Ooh. Hey, who's that? I'm not sure what I'm looking for. Oh, okay. We're doing this. Nope. I'm dead. I should have healed before. Run. What are you doing? Don't do that. Oh, whatever. Oh, it's not dead. Oh, I'm gonna die. Oh boy. Here he comes. That's death, right? Do I have time to heal? Nah. Get out of here. Okay. Oh. Do the thing. I have one of these, so do it. That wasn't so bad.
I swear to God.
I think I want to make this. Okay. Yeah. My tummy's grumbling. I didn't eat dinner. Sorry. I had some marshmallows. I'm still trying to be like, oh, eat sugar before you do this, because I don't do coffee anymore, and I don't do soda, because I don't want to. I have to go to sleep because it's Wednesday, but I'm just like, no, I'll just eat a bunch of sugar. I don't know, I guess. I guess, yeah, I am curious just to see where this book goes, because it got really good reviews, but I'm thinking most people who read the book must be like me. They're not like the super smart, successful guy, right? They're like the me guy who's like, I'm just not happy generally, even though like I don't care about like the little stuff, like your job and being super smart and having a bunch of money. I don't really care about that. I just don't like me. I don't know why it took me so long to figure that out, but I said that last week. I'm not happy because I don't like myself. I guess I probably should try to read the book description and be like, if you're not happy because you don't like yourself, this is the book for you. Where am I supposed to be going?
There's gotta be a street
Oh.
around here.
It's almost over. 2 minutes left, is that right?
Okay. Santa Barbara's downhill. 24, 25 constants.
So, well, I got to the first part of the book, which is like his major first point was like, happiness is the default state of humans. And he gives the example of kids. Oh, can you hear that? Sorry. Kids are happy. You go to a place that's like poor, like Africa, and you see kids with dirt on their face, and he's like, but they're playing soccer and they're happy, they're fine. I like the analogies he uses because they're like technology analogies, so that kind of is good for me. I like, he's like, humans are like phones. I'm like, yes, I am like a computer.
She has to be down
That's weird. I don't think that mechanic's been in the game yet, where you can fall down cliffs like that. They just introduced it for that one thing. That's weird. Humans are like phones. The person who designs the phone designs it in a way that it's meant to be used, like for most people, and that's the default state. Humans, their default state, like when they come out of the packaging when they're kids, they're happy. Man, sorry. Oop. I gotta eat something. Not just marshmallows. Do they have a lot of calories? 100 calories per 4. I've had like 8. So if the default state is happy, then unhappy, what did he say? Happiness is the lack of unhappiness. Hopefully you can't hear my stomach grumbles, but like I know I have to turn the volume up really loud for you to hear my voice, so you probably can. Maybe I should try to eat something. Like an actual food and not just sugar stuffed with air.
All right.
Okay, well, I do have to end there. I went over. Happiness is the lack of unhappiness. His son died, so I'll give him a chance. I'm not suffering. That's the thing. He's like... He said he came up with this amazing formula for how to be happy. And he's like, when my son died, we had bad days, we grieved, but we were never suffering, he said. We're never suffering. I'm like, okay, I mean, it'll be good to keep this equation, whatever it is, in the back of my head for when my parents die or something, but it's not really going to help me now because I'm not suffering. The idea that kids are like the default state and they're happy because that's what we're supposed to be doesn't click with me. It seems like, well, kids are dumb. They don't understand why that there's like no point to doing anything because they're just dumb. They're like animals. They just react on like their instincts and stimuli from outside. They're not really thinking. But once you start thinking, you think, well, there's no point to anything. Why would I do anything? That's where I am. I'm not sure if this book's going to help with that. So I guess there's two things that make me unhappy. Is I don't like myself, but also I feel like there's no point to doing anything. Those feel kind of like separate things. I mean, they work together in my head to make me not a happy person, but they feel like two separate things. They don't feel like they're connected. Anyway, I went over today. So, see you tomorrow. Bye.